Hi, everyone. This is Andrea Spaz, Assistant Principal of Teaching and Learning at Charahoe Regional High School. I hope everyone is well and healthy during this unique time in our lives. We want to use this time to reassure you that there has been a team working behind the scenes to make sure we are as prepared as possible. The purpose of our screencast is to communicate our plans and to walk you through key components of our virtual instructional plan for the district. Please keep in mind that this is a summary and that we plan to provide you with more detailed PD that's going to follow, and that PD will be more building specific. So right now, this is really an overview of our district virtual instructional plan. Also, please keep in mind that this is a contingency plan for emergency school closures. So why are we doing this? We hope that this provides a seamless transition as much as possible from the classroom setting to the home setting, and then hopefully back again to our physical classroom. Also, please keep in mind that we are following guidance from our state officials as well as from the Rhode Island Department of Education. The administration team, union representation, the technology department, as well as our technology fellows have been meeting regularly. Our district leaders have been in constant communication with RIDE, and our virtual instruction plan at this time has been submitted to RIDE. To meet the RIDE requirements for our virtual instruction plans, we really need to demonstrate that we're providing access and opportunity for all of our students, and that's really important. And so it's important that our plans address both equity and deep learning for all. We wanted to share with you what we've done so far. So here are some initial steps that we've taken. So at this point, we've sent out tech surveys, and outreach has been made in different forms and will continue to be made to our families of our students to identify needs at the pre-K through 4 level, as well as grades 5 through 12. And so what we've done, the purpose of this outreach is to be able to provide families and identify those families who are in need of tech support in terms of both internet and devices. And we hope to be able to provide support to those families as identified. Also, our tech fellows and administrators have been curating resources. And again, we'll be sharing those with you today. Next steps. Planning for virtual learning. It's really important that we keep in mind that the plan is not to have you use new technology tools that you're not familiar with. Fortunately, we are a well-equipped district to do a lot of this work. As you know, our teachers throughout the district are familiar with using a variety of tools. For example, at the high school, we already have a student learning platform called Canvas, and our teachers are comfortable accessing that platform daily. And the same can be said for different tools throughout the elementary schools as well as middle school. We're using Google Classroom, ClassDojo, Nearpod. Some of us are familiar with Google Meet. If not, you're going to have a chance to see that today through this screencast. And we also hope to provide you more training in Google Meet, maybe at the building level as well. But again, the whole purpose is to use tools and resources that you're already familiar with, and we are well equipped to do that. Also, please keep in mind that when planning for virtual learning, keep it simple, yet also make it engaging. And it's okay to be creative and kind of think a little bit outside the box. We also want to provide students with clear expectations and clear due dates. Also, as we do in our classrooms, we want to, establish really clear norms. So while working virtually, we'll want to have virtual norms. And this is really important that during your first couple of classes, you review those virtual norms and then maybe do some periodic reviews as well. And you're going to also want to post those norms if you're using an online platform like Canvas to post those norms so that students can have access to those. In these next few slides, I'm going to be sharing with you different expectations for teachers, students, parents, support personnel. The examples I'm going to be sharing with you in the next 4 slides are high school specific. But please know that in a few slides beyond these, there's going to be more examples that are elementary and middle school specific. And you're going to have links to those as well. So here are some teacher expectations at the high school level. We want students to be able to access you virtually for communication during your assigned block time. And we're kind of calling these office hours so that you're available to students during these times. Teachers can take attendance daily on PowerSchool, like we do currently. So we do expect that daily attendance. And we're going to talk about ways later on about what can be counted towards attendance. It's also important that your agenda, resources, product, or your goal is submitted for each lesson. We also, want you to encourage student collaboration during the lesson block. Also, create a virtual lesson to practice in class, develop virtual norms for your class, like we just talked about. You might want to check for student understanding as part of your practice. I know we do that regularly through formative assessments and quizzes, but please keep in mind that at this time, there's going to be no major tests or exams administered. So at this time, no major tests or exams administered. And also, certified non-teaching staff will be creating a plan with principals to validate workload. Here's an example of certified support staff personnel expectations. Follow the same schedule as classroom teachers, daily documented check-ins with students on your case list, students of concerns, and students that teachers bring to your attention during virtual schooling. Here's some student expectations at the high school level. We expect our students to log on to Canvas at their assigned class time and day, and we're going to be following our white and green schedule as is. Also, for students, we expect them to show us evidence of engagement and then to upload their product assigned by a particular due date and time. For parents and guardians at the high school level, we would like them to review the learning plans that are shared by teachers and participate in ongoing communication as necessary. Provide a quiet place for student learning and support. Encourage outdoor activities, daily exercise, and play. And also to email our school nurse teacher if their child becomes ill and is not going to be participating in virtual instruction. So those are some expectations that we have for our various stakeholders. As I had mentioned earlier, we've had a team working behind the scenes. Our principals, district leaders, technology fellows, teachers have been working together to curate some resources for teachers. I've just shared with you some high school examples, so I'm going to share with you now some elementary examples. But as you can see here, we have documents for grades pre-K through 4, grades 5 through 8, and then grades 9 through 12. And these are teacher resources, and at each level, we have an overview of responsibilities and supports. And then we also have ideas and resources. And within each overview of responsibilities and supports, this ideas and resources link is linked within this document. So you're going to see that here. So I'm going to click here on overview of responsibilities and supports. This is pre-K through 4. And it's going to take me right to the virtual day teacher expectations for pre-K through 4. What this document does is it walks you through teacher expectations, parent expectations, and student expectations at the elementary level. I had just shared with you the high school ones. And then it takes you to that digital lesson design, ideas, and resources link. You can also see some information here about Jess and Renee, our tech fellows, being available for support. I'm going to click here and look at the digital lesson design, ideas, and resources. And this again looks different at each grade span level. Here's the grades pre-K through 4. Here are some ideas for lessons outlined, virtual field trip links, some playlist links available to you. Here are ways that you can be available virtually: Google Meet, Class Dojo, Padlet. Here are some virtual lesson design tools, some video recordings and video creation tools, as well as curation platforms, some collaborative tools like Padlet, Google Drive, study assessment tools, Many of us are familiar with Quizlet, Khan Academy. Here are content and digital lesson resources. And then also we have a link to special education resources as well. And that can be found within all of our building level resources. So this is going to be a helpful go-to resource for you to work on your lesson design. And again, these are accessible to teachers through these links and at various building levels. There's also one for grades 5 through 8 and also one for grades 9 through 12. Again, we as building principals plan to share these with you in a little greater detail when that time comes. I want to share a reminder that we have Jess and Renee who've been extremely helpful during this time, and they are here to assist you with anything technology related regarding this virtual learning plan work. There's different ways that you can access Jess and Renee. Jess has an email, so does Renee. They're both available there for you. And they also use BookMe to set up appointments to book them at any specific time if you want a one-on-one appointment with them. They also have open virtual office hours, and their times are listed there for you. They also have access to a virtual meeting room, and this is through Google Meet. I was talking to you about that earlier. I'm going to click on here and see if I can pop in with Jess real quick. So I'm going to click this link. This is her Google Meet. There I am. I am going to join now. Jess, hi.
Maria, how are you?
Good, how's it going?
Good.
So listen, I have been working on some Nearpod slides for my students, and I am having some difficulty sharing. I want to be able to share them out with students and want some support. Can you hop on with me now and kind of look through that and walk through different ways to share these Nearpod slides with my students?
Sure, I'm happy to hop on and help you out.
Awesome. Thank you, Jess.
No problem.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right, I'm just going to close her out there. So it's as simple as that. We hope to share a little bit more with you about Google Meets in the future. You can also share your screen. So there's a simple button you push, and then your screen becomes live. So you can walk your students or your colleagues through what you're viewing, which is a great feature. And that's come in handy this past week many times. All right. So we've talked about things like video conferences, and you just saw one. While doing video conferences, it's really important that we set up some norms. So we've established both student norms and teacher norms. Student norms, grades pre-K through 4. We want the parent to be present for that check-in with the teacher in regarding that work with students remotely, okay? If students are participating, it's really important that they're not in a setting like a bathroom or a bedroom, and that they know that school rules apply for appropriate conduct and dress. We also want them to find a place with minimal distractions. Grades 5 through 12 are not needing that parent be present, but again, the same expectations that they're not in their bathroom or bedroom, and the appropriate attire and conduct are going to be expected. Again, minimal distractions. Teacher norms. So teachers, if you're planning to conduct a live video conference, this must take place during your assigned class time block. We're not expecting students to, visit you through video conferencing at any other time beyond your assigned class time block. And again, this is not required. Video conferences are not required, but these are optional and a great way to connect with students. Again, find that place with minimal distractions within your household. And then we have some recommended supports. Google Meet, it's really easy to use. We just showed you that. Zoom is another potential tool. Again, those norms, you want to have students mute themselves while you instruct. You might also, you're not going to need to be on the video conference the full 60, 90 minutes. You might want to have a brief meet at the beginning, maybe 10-minute check-in where you review your agenda, your essential questions, your learning tasks. Maybe you do that for 10 minutes or so, have them do some work. Towards the end of the class block, you report back for maybe another 10, 15 minutes, end with Q&A time, a check-in, and then maybe you talk about plans for the next time you guys meet up. Those are just some potential norms to think about. Student attendance. This is part of our virtual learning plan that we submitted to the state. K to 8 student daily attendance will be verified using a Google form. At the grades 9 through 12 level, student attendance is going to be recorded by the teacher by the end of the class period. And we are currently using PowerSchool to record attendance, so same thing, attendance will be continued to be recorded in PowerSchool as usual. There's different ways that we can verify student daily attendance. And we're going to get into that in more detail further later on. However, students are going to be able to access their teachers at their regularly scheduled times through platforms like Canvas, Google Classroom, Google Meet, or even email. Those are different ways that we can show students are attending. Teacher attendance. As you know, we in the district use Frontline. It used to be called ASOP. So staff must adhere to the regular schedule for reporting absences. Use that Frontline portal. If you're not able to instruct online due to illness, input a sick or personal day in Frontline. If you're unable to instruct for more than 6 consecutive days, please contact your principal so that we can put a plan in place for your students. We've also established expectations for our various support staff. They are all outlined here. I'm not going to go through each of these right now, but please know that if you are a support staff provider, please locate your field and review the expectations. These are all outlined for you on these slides. We wanted to use this time as well to just provide a reminder about the importance of daily connections. Sometimes we can get stuck in the details and get a bit bogged down. The big picture here is that we really care about each other, we care about our students, and that it's really important that we continue to build those important relationships. At this time, we're all humans trying to do our very best right now in these unique times. So just remember about the importance of, who's behind that screen, who we're talking to remotely, virtually. Those are our students, and we're going to continue the work we do to build those healthy, meaningful relationships. Also, please keep in mind that for these first few days, we're going to be, establishing some really new routines and expectations for our students and for ourselves. This is new to a lot of us. Although we're familiar with these technology tools and resources, this whole virtual learning concept is new in terms of how remote it is. So these first few days, we're going to be establishing norms, expectations, routines. So it's really important that we're as flexible and understanding as possible. It's really important that we take a big deep breath, but remind ourselves that we've got this. We are a district that sets high expectations. We are a district that's well positioned. We've been doing a lot of this great work. We're used to collaboration. We have strong resources. So use the supports available to you. Follow those teacher support staff responsibilities. Let's continue our communication patterns of communicating clearly to parents, students. Take time to breathe. It's very important. Self-care is really critical for student care. Let's keep that in mind. And we really want to thank you for your patience, for your collaboration, and the support that we're seeing you provide to each other and our students. Finally, just a reminder to please reach out to your building principals if you have any questions. Please stay in contact with your grade level and content colleagues or your department heads. That constant, frequent communication and just staying connected is going to be really important during this time. Again, I'm going to be sharing these slides to all Charahoe faculty shortly. Thank you for your time today and listening to this screencast. Stay healthy.